Imagine a war where no shots were fired, no battles were fought, and the only casualty was a bruised ego. Welcome to Story Ginie Channel, your ultimate destination for captivating stories, fascinating histories, and intriguing mysteries. The Aroostook War, one of the most ridiculous conflicts in history, the border dispute. In the 1830s, the border between Maine and New Brunswick was a hotly contested issue. Both the United States and British North America, now Canada, claimed ownership of the disputed territory. The area in question was a vast wilderness of forests, rivers, and mountains. It was a region rich in natural resources, including timber, minerals, and fertile soil. For years, the two sides had been negotiating a settlement, but to no avail. The dispute had become a major point of contention between the two nations. The war begins in January 1839. The Maine legislature passed a resolution authorizing the governor to raise a militia to defend the state's border. The British responded by sending troops to the area. But here's the funny part. Instead of fighting, the two sides got lost in the woods. The American militia, led by General Winfield Scott, marched into the wilderness, determined to defend their territory. But they soon found themselves wandering aimlessly through the dense forest. Meanwhile, the British troops, led by General Sir John Harvey, were having similar difficulties. They got lost in the woods, and their maps proved to be inaccurate. A series of blunders. The U.S. commander, General Winfield Scott, tried to rally his troops with a stirring speech. But as he was speaking, he slipped on a patch of ice and fell on his backside. The British commander, General Sir John Harvey, responded to the U.S. declaration of war by sending a polite letter to General Scott, asking him to clarify the terms of the conflict. It was a ridiculous exchange, with both sides trying to outdo each other in politeness and courtesy. The peace treaty, after several months of bumbling around, the two sides finally negotiated a peace treaty. The treaty established the border between Maine and New Brunswick, and it also included a provision that required both sides to apologize to each other. It was a humiliating end to a war that had been marked by incompetence and confusion. The legacy of the Aroostook War. So, what can we learn from the Aroostook War? Perhaps it's that even in the midst of conflict, there's always room for a little bit of humor and humility. The Aroostook War may have been a ridiculous conflict, but it also showed that even in the face of adversity, nations can find a way to resolve their differences peacefully. Questions for you. What do you think is the most ridiculous war in history? Have you ever heard of a conflict that was resolved without violence? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories about weird and wonderful events from history. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.